Good morning to my new subscribers, and hello and welcome to you. Good morning to those who have been long-time subscribers. Hello and how are you? Today this video is to talk about us who are in this community, us who claim to be woke, us who say we know what's going on, and we have more info than those family members and everybody who call us crazy. Now we say we have info. We say we truthers. We went and we heard something or we saw something that didn't sound right to us. That didn't look right to us, or what have you. You know what I'm saying? Be it in whatever industry, you name, medical industry, military industry, what have you. With that truth, we found out that this world is not what we are made to think it is. Okay? And it caused us to search for more truth. And then we found out that we had to be careful of where that truth came from, because obviously evil is going to put out its version of the truth as well as the truth that's out there. But that didn't deter a lot of us. It deterred some of us from finding truth. Because then, Shalom, Angie. It deterred some of us from finding the truth, because then we were like, what is the truth? We don't know what truth is. So that must mean that truth is not here, or was truth ever here to begin with? Or maybe, you started to adopt the thought that the truth, like they say, like gender is or good and evil is a man-made construct. And of course, evil would tell you that to have you fall back into the deception. But like I said, it didn't deter all of us. So now we're here with this truth, and we're trying to tell people, these unknown truths, and we're called conspiracy theorists. And because of that, a lot of people, they didn't want to be called conspiracy theorists. They didn't want, to have to like answer to their boss, or different things like that. So that kind of took them off the trail of being conscious or woke, or a truther, because they had no rebuttal when they were called a conspiracy theorist. Excuse me again. Now for those of us who none of that stuff worked on, and we still out here, we're still out here searching for truth, and trying to tell the truth, we're still ostracized. Okay. And of course, that's an issue, but those of us who still search for the truth, we warriors, we battle through it. What I noticed with, especially with the black conscious community, is that a lot of people, when they found out certain pieces of the truth, they became arrogant. Or when they got a picture of the truth of what's actually really going on here, they didn't get the full picture. They just got like a piece of it. But to them, it made them feel like, oh, I got the full picture of what's truly going on here. So they became arrogant in, what they think they know is the truth, That being said, a lot of them became, especially with, the black conscious community, they became pimps. Like, no better than, the mega church pastor, or, evangelist, a Jehovah's Witness. Okay. And that took away the credibility of those who actually are trying to find truth and tell the truth, because they started saying, oh, I know all the truth over here. I'm going to keep it 100. So come spend your money. Come tithe. Come bring me donations for this truth that I'm giving you to help me help you receive this truth and keep receiving it. Because this is all I do. Okay. When that happened, a lot of people who were trying to build on the conscious community, or the truther community, or woke people, a lot of people who were trying to build together, that took them off the path of that building, because the ones who are supposed to be the so-called conscious leaders or spiritual leaders became pimps. Okay? They became nothing different than, what you see in a Christian church. And because of that, there was a falling away of people trying to find the truth. That being said, all of us truthers, conscious community creators, all of us so-called woke people, we don't know the things we think we know. For instance, we don't truly know how deep this deception goes. Okay? For example, the Catholics are fighting against the Christians. But there's no difference between them and the Republicans and the Democrats. Okay? Because Christianity came from Catholicism. That book that Christians use is basically the same book, except it's in Anglo-Saxon, it's in English. Okay? And the Pope, who is the emperor, because Pope means emperor. He's the emperor of the Vatican. He's the emperor of Rome, the Roman Empire, the unholy Roman Empire. Okay? The Queen is up under him. The Queen of England is up under him because he's the emperor. The trust funds, the billions of dollars that's connected to each one of our names, our true value, the value of what our lives cost, that's connected to our birth certificates, the straw man on your social security number, the bank that all of those are connected to for each and every last 334 of us Americans and other people too. Anybody that's under the Geneva Convention, any country under the Geneva Convention is connected to a World Bank. Okay, every person that's born that gets a social security number or a certificate of live birth or a birth certificate, that certificate, that number is connected to the World Bank. That World Bank is connected to the main major bank, which is called the Bank of International Settlements, that is based out of Italy. They have a satellite bank in Switzerland that has the same powers as they do. But the bank in Switzerland, of course, evil will tell you that's the main bank. That's not the main bank. The main bank is in Rome. It's the Banco Vaticano. The Bank of the Vatican. The Bank of Rome. Okay? That's where all our money, all of what they owe us, that's where all of that is. Okay? Because America is a corporation. It's not a country. A lot of people don't even know that. They don't even know when America became a corporation. They don't know what they think they know about Abraham Lincoln. A lot of people don't know that Benjamin Franklin, him being a Mason, that there were, bones and remains of infants found up under his home in Pennsylvania. Yeah. So what does that mean? That means he must have been motherfucking one of them evil baby sacrificing motherfuckers too. The churches are corporations because guess what? They have, in order for you to be called a church, a religious organization, in order for you to even be seen as such or recognized as one by the Corporation of the United States, you have to get a 501c3 status. If you don't have a 501c3 status, you're not seen as a tax exempt organization. So you're not seen as a church. You're not seen as a spiritual guidance organization if you don't have one of them. Or a nonprofit, exactly. And if you do have a 501c3, you can't talk about the truth in that church. Nothing about what's going on the planet right now, as far as actually really needs our attention. They don't bring any recognition to any of that. They don't acknowledge any of the issues with the earth. You know what I'm saying? The earth is in danger. Danger, Will Robinson. Danger. Okay? No. You hear nothing. It's crickets on that end. Why? Because if they lose their 501c3 status, they have to pay taxes for whatever building they're at and everything else too. And they can't keep that money, and use it for a Lexus or some shit. So, that being said, and then, the deception goes deeper than that. Because if you knew anything about the Bible, you know that the Bible has been chopped up like Osiris in the little bitty itty bitty parts. Books have been taken out. Books have been added to where the words were changed. The words in the book were changed. Okay? The Bible cannot be a construct of man because it has foresight that man cannot obtain if man does not have a connection in unseen. Okay? The words in that book would not have been changed if that Bible was just made for man and it was just a fiction and evil had nothing to worry about from that book's existence. Right. And then the Mandela effect. Look at that. I mean, I wasn't trying to get on that, but look at that. There's people who say they've read the Bible from a child, and to them, it's always been the wolf and the lamb. And I'm like, no, it has not always been the wolf and the lamb. Because I know who the lion, it's always been the lion and the lamb, because I know who the lion symbolizes and I know who the lamb symbolizes. See, everybody talks about the Israelites, the Hebrew Israelites. Yes, that's why I'm sure persecuted, and that's why you're persecuted and attacked everywhere you go, because corporations, the evil pretend elite banks run everything except those or things who aren't 501c3. So that's not far-fetched or crazy that employers allow other employees to bully other people. Yeah, if you tell the truth and it's found out and shit. Oh, that was something that failed. My bad. If if they find out that you're on YouTube or Facebook and Instagram or whatever social media and you're using it to tell the truth, you can be they can fire you for that. You know what I'm saying? Even though it's on your own, free time that you're doing this. you know. Um, and it's called gang stalking. Basically, it's called there is electronic and covert or secret harassment that goes on. Okay, but let me get back to the Bible. Okay, the lion and the lamb. Everybody talks about the Israelites. Okay, they talk about the Hebrew Israelites, but then they take the Jews or the tribe of Judah, the king, when that's so at all. They don't. Well, first off, he said, y'all shall not have a king over you. You shall not have any man over you. Okay, that was a commandment. Okay, then they went from that to, well, half of the children of Israel wanted to have a king. And the other half was like, no, we don't want a king. We want to follow the principles that the true Father sent down to us. So there was a split. So it went from being the children of Israel to the tribe or the nation and the kingdom of Judah. And the king of Israel. So it's always been, yeah, the truth is the truth and it heals. The lie is the lie and it kills. So it's always the Lion of Judah and the Lamb of Israel, and the true sent down by our true Father to break the blood, to abolish the blood oath on the planet, and to renew the covenant. Yeah, I know. It's freezing up a little bit. I got a bad connection. You know, it's cloudy outside, and this phone is connected to the satellite, which is connected to the microwaves, towers, and, when they're using the towers to make clouds, you can't use the towers to make clouds and have a clear connection at the same time. So, thank you. Yeah, those towers. I'm still going to do that. It's horrible. It's horrific. Okay, because they're using these towers. Even the power lines are being used to make openings, portals, to allow evil entities to come here in this plane. Okay, that's why the whole telecommunications network, all of them, are owned by DARPA, which is a branch of the military. A lot of people don't even know that. So back to what I was saying. It's always been like that. It's always been the Lion of Judah and the Lamb of Israel. And like I said, he came here to be the lion and the lamb. He came here to break the blood oath on the planet. The sacrifices another one went up the other day, and these are not for cell phones. No, not all towers are used for cell phones. They are not. They are absolutely not. You know what I'm saying? Not all, because there's microwave towers, there's wind towers, and you got the cell towers, which correlates with the Gwen and the other two towers. And then there's another fourth tower that they put up that I can't remember what kind of tower it is, but it correlates with all the other fuck shit of the other towers. And then the towers they got what's called 5G arrays. Okay. Now at the 10th G, at the 10th generation of technology, the earth will end. Yeah. If you get it, when you get a chance, go to Google and type in 7G PDF. 7G technology PDF. Okay, and download it and read that shit. It's going to be about 11 pages. Download it and read it. Okay, our True Father, yes, 7G technology PDF. Yes. What they're trying to do is they're trying to make their own energy field over the earth, which is why it's weakening, and they're trying to weaken it even more and put their and activate their own. That's a part of this 5G. They're changing the energy, the frequency in the air. Okay, and it's not for the better. And it's not for organic life, because if that's the case, all the trees, all the animals, all the insects would not be dying. Okay, have you looked at the ground lately? I look at the ground and I look at the sky. I look at the sky, I barely see a bird in the motherfucking sky. Okay, I saw a flock of motherfucking geese flying. Okay, they were flying east, north by northeast. And then they changed. I saw them change directions 2-3 times. Yeah, all the bees are gone. It's the bad chemicals plus bad frequencies. I know. It's I always have a yellow monarch butterfly. Actually, it's not a monarch. It's a swallowtail, because I'm connected to them. They always come see me. Always. I've seen it, but it's been later and later and later in the year. They used to come. I had to be ahead of the game. See, let me show you. Hold on. If I wasn't, I'd be dead a long time ago. So yeah, a lot of people aren't as woke as they think they are. Okay, they still in the deception. You see this? I'm so happy the three of us are here too. You had both come see you every year? Right. And the butterflies, like I said, I have a swallowtail that comes to see me because like I said, I have this unseen connection to them. And last year it's always only one. And last year I didn't see a swallowtail. The swallowtail didn't come see me until about late August, beginning of September. So yeah, I know it's bad. And you know how the butterflies, the monarch butterflies, they do their migration every is it 5 years, 3 years, 5 years, something like that. It is great to be near and around integrity, you know. So I heard last year when the butterflies, the trees, there's a certain tree in Mexico or orchard that the butterflies inhabit. And it's they said it's usually around like 5 acres or something like that. Where do you live, Melanie? I live in Illinois. I live in the northern part of Illinois, close to Iowa. Okay, that's because the Schumann resonance is off, and the Schumann resonance is off because the north and okay, you live in Maryland. Okay. So I'm pretty sure they're having a hell of a time trying to get up there with all this, geoengineered weather, this weather being manipulated and manufactured by man. I'm pretty sure they're having a tough time riding those motherfucking trade winds. What was that? Yeah, it'll be underwater soon. Um, I was explaining to y'all about this. I'm gonna come back to whatever thought I just lost. Okay, so this right here, this is what you call a bioenergy bracelet. Bioenergy bracelet has magnets within. You see the magnets? Okay, and these are just titanium magnets. Thank you. Actually, this is the one that comes over. I have two different types, and they make these over. They don't even really make these here. You see the magnets? Okay. And there's different kinds. This one has what's called tungsten magnets in it, and tungsten is one of the minerals that we need for our body. These are actually, it's two bracelets in one on this one. See, there's some red and there's some black and there's some white ones. See, red, black, and white ones. So yeah, I wear these because I have a physiological damage that I don't know how bad it is. I know. I'm sorry. I know y'all not ignoring me. You're fine. If you want help with the butterflies, go and look up how to make a butterfly plate. I've done one before. It was like 4 years ago. Butterflies and beads will come to the plate. What you do is you get old fruit, like fruit that's, not molded and bad yet, but right before it gets that bad, just like fruit it's not bad, it's not so bad that if you did have to eat it, you wouldn't eat it, but it's bad enough that you want to throw it away. Get that fruit and you get a plate or, something to put it on, and you put a little water in there and a little sugar cane, and you mix it all up. And then you set it out like by some flowers or by somewhere in the shade, or something like that. And the butterflies, they'll come to the plate and they'll eat off of it. And butterflies and bees, they'll come to it and eat off of it. Now, I was saying that the Schumann resonance is off. At one point in time, right before, I guess, the Schumann resonance fluxed back to a reasonable state. The Schumann resonance was at 6.6, so it was 666. Okay, that let me know that evil is definitely here, and I'm not fucking lying. Okay, there is a difference between good and evil. The replay might clear up the buffering a little bit. I looked at my other videos. It didn't clear it up too much. Unfortunately. So yeah. Us woke people, we're not as woke as we think. For instance, did you all know that Godrill is God? When I say they changed things in the Bible, they changed a lot. Our true Father's name, his true name, is not God. Okay? It's not God. God is Godrill. He's the serpent who was kicked out of the garden. Okay? That's how deep the deception goes. They took God and made it mean. They changed it from being the serpent who was kicked out of the garden to being... You're in Toledo, Ohio? Okay. That is a very evil place. And I'm not saying where I live at is any less evil. Everywhere you go that it's got a TON after it, Satan has set that town up. So if you live somewhere like Princeton or Waterton, or I don't know. I don't know any Arlington, any TON. That was set up by a group of Satanists. That town was set up by Satanists. Okay. This town was set up by Satanists. When people say that Glove isn't involved with all this BS, but they believe HAARP and chemtrails modify weather, duh. Of course, no people don't know. A lot of people in the conscious community haven't even done any etymological research. Etymology is the study of the origin of the words that you speak. Like government, that English word, when you break that word down in etymology, because it comes from Latin, govern means to control, and ment means mind. Mind, control. Because when you break down words like that, you have to do the suffix before you do the root or the prefix word. Okay? Government, mind control. Period. That's what it is. Okay? So, we shouldn't have mind control over us, telling us what to do, how to think, you know what I'm saying, when to think. You're welcome. Go research etymology. Go just take a word and type in original definition, and you'll be staggered by how many words we use, and people, we don't know, you know what I'm saying, what that word truly means, because we don't know the true original definition. The original is always the paramount. The original is always the most necessary because it came first. Period. Okay? Like the black man is the original man who was first down here in the body. Okay? It doesn't mean that, we are better than any other man, but we were first. So we are literally the life energy of the planet. So evil, using dumbass white people trying to kill all the black people, is really stupid. Especially when you learn how energy works. When you truly learn how energy works, when you know your body, you can't say that no man but no race belongs here. Yeah, butterfly plate. We have black cells, we have red cells, we have yellow cells, and we have white cells. Okay? Your black cells absorb energy. Okay? Your red cells distribute the energy. Your yellow cells hold in the energy, and your white cells protect the cells, all the other cells are in your body. Okay? So that's the 4 races of man. Racism is a part of brainwashing. Yes. But, there's also truth to that. See, the thing about a lie is it can never exist without the truth. If there was no truth there for the lie to wrap itself around, the lie wouldn't exist. Period. It cannot exist by itself. Racism is programming, but there are different races of man. And, in the Bible, the original term for bastard meant a person of mixed race. That was the original term for a bastard. Not that your parents weren't married or any of that other stuff. Okay? So there are different races, and they're not supposed to mix. Okay? But, of course, evil's going to tell you You can mix races. There is no color or no race, which is a lie, because when you read read the Bible. It talks about, the devil and his hosts. Okay, what do you think the hosts are that the devil, that's up under the devil? That's the race of being of angel, not God. Wait, no, yeah. That's the race. No, wait, it is God. Gadriel is the serpent. There's 4 different fallen beings. 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. 4. And 1 to rule them all. Okay? But when host means race. Okay? When it said the devil and his angels or hosts were kicked out of heaven, the devil and his race was kicked out of heaven. When it says the serpent and his hosts were kicked out of heaven, yeah, it's a lot of witchcraft all over the planet right now. Okay. Melanie lost her connection. She'll be right back. When it says, Azazel and his angels were kicked off the mountain that, the children of Seth inhabited, they talking about the races of angels that were under whatever main angel was over them. Okay, that's what they're talking about. The race of angel. Host equals race. Period. Okay, so there's that right there. Then a lot of people think, Gadriel is Sataniel, when they're not the same in the least bit of being the same. They come from 2 different races of angels. They're not the same. Not at all. The only thing that makes them the same is the spirit that inhabits them. The spirit of evil. The spirit of takeover. The spirit of unsatisfaction. The spirit of rebellion. Spirit of conflict. That's the only thing that makes them the same. You have to know your enemy. And a lot of people don't even know their enemy. They still think God is our creator. When you look up the etymological origin of the word God, it's the definition for that word is a Semitic term for a deity of fortune. Okay? Even in that instant, God is not our true father. Because a deity of fortune is not the creator of all of creation in existence. A lot of people don't even know Satan has a seed. They don't even know his name. They don't even know what personification of evil he is. Exactly. People who fear they don't mind because somebody else is telling them what to think and how to think. When you are afraid, that is literally you handing something else. Not our true Father, because he didn't give us a spirit of fear. Okay? There's something else giving you instruction on how to think because you're afraid. You're thinking out of fear. You're not thinking out of, the truth. You know what I'm saying? And then that's another thing that turned people away from looking for the truth, because Sonetter, Baba TV every time fire. Baba TV fire every time. Forgot how you say your name. You know, these other ones out here, they haven't truly done their research. Because if they had, they wouldn't even still be on the motherfucking Egyptian front. Huh? They would know that Egypt is, at its core, is pure evil. It's totally evil. That's what it is. Okay? And the Antichrist, there's always been archetypes of the Antichrist. Every last world leader that we've ever had, damn near, was an archetype of the Antichrist. Evil personified, walking in a man. Okay? The king of Tyre, he was called the devil. No, the original term for the original term for bastard meant someone who was of more than one race, who had two or more races in them. So if your mom was, you know what I'm saying, a Moabite, and your dad was of a different tribe, or basically a different tribe, that was considered mixed race, race mixing. And your child was a bastard or a mamzer. 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 Okay? Host equals race. Yes. Okay? Our true father is not God. God is not our true father. If that's the case, when the Lord's Prayer, when they asked him, how do we pray to, the Most High? He wouldn't have said our Father, which I think it was actually our true Father. Okay? He would have said God. So it wouldn't have been our Father who art in heaven. It would have been God who art in heaven. Do y'all notice how it changes? The New Testament and the Old Testament changes when it's talking about, the Father of all creation. In the New Testament, when they talk about, when the chosen Son talks about our true Father, he mentions our Father. He says the Father. He doesn't say God. Nowhere in that New Testament. And then, have you noticed how in the Old Testament there is the God, there is capital G, lowercase O-D, then there's God, capital G, capital O, capital D, then there's the Lord God, you know what I'm saying, then Jehovah and all the rest of them. And none of them mean our Father. They're all like different entities. Look up the name Gadriel, because there's different forms of God. Good morning, Ann. How are you this morning? Good morning, everybody. There is God, then there's GAD, then there's GAWD. You know what I'm saying? Then there's GAUD. All those are different ways to spell God. Okay? Now look up Gadriel. His name is spelled GADRIEL. It's from the book of Enoch. Now when you look up this name, it's going to tell you Gadriel was a serpent. And it won't go this far into it, but he guarded the west gate of Eden. He was the first meat puppet of Satan, who was the first meat puppet of evil. Satan got kicked out first. Then it was the serpent. Then it was an archangel named Raziel who brought Adam the book of prophecy, which the Vatican calls the lexicon. And then somehow Raziel fell. I can't find the fall of Raziel. Maybe I haven't read deep enough into like the book of Enoch, or haven't found the book talking about his fall. But he's the third one that fell. The fourth one that fell was Azrael, who was the watcher of the children of our true Father, who were not the sons of God. They were the children of the true Father. So the angels weren't the sons of our true Father, and neither were the sons, and the sons of our Father were not the sons of God. They were the sons of Set. Okay. And a lot of people ask, how do you know this? Well, obviously I've read out of books that they took out the Bible, because they said, oh, those books are just so fake. We can't even say if they real or not. So we just going to take these out of the Bible that was already put together in 325 AD. And even that was done through bribery. Okay, look up the Nicene Creed. Look up the Council of Nicaea. Look up Pope Constantine. Pope just means emperor. He's just another ruler. Like Xerxes. Emperor Xerxes of Persia. Remember in the movie 300? That nigga, that is a true account. He really existed. Okay. Another thing. You can't be conscious. You can't claim to be woke. No, you can claim to be conscious. You can claim to be woke. You can claim to be a truther. You can claim that shit if you want. But you can't be that and still think somebody is crazy. Because you're not truly conscious. You're not truly woke. You're not a real truther. If you sitting up here and you done researched all this stuff, and somebody come out and they got something more outrageous that they know about than you do, and you ain't never heard it before, and now you done heard some of everything, but that's crazy? That person is crazy? No. You are a walking contradiction. You become a stumbling block to yourself and your knowledge and your growth in learning in that moment. Am I saying that they do try and hide. Of course, evil is going to hide the knowledge. Evil has been over the Christian church since its inception. Because it's been over the Catholic church since its inception, since it began. I'm not saying our true Father can't take what evil made for evil and make it for good. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that evil was in control of the whole movement from the beginning. Just like the CIA was in control of the New Age movement from the beginning. Okay? The evangelical movement, like the evangelical churches, like Billy, whatever his name is, that just died from CBN, the Christian Broadcasting Network. Yeah, he's an evangelical who was running around with L. Ron Hubbard and the dude that made the Jehovah's Witness church, who started that. They all was running around together in the same group. Okay? And they were in control and still are in control, or are controlled by the CIA. There are no aliens. Well, let me not say that. There are aliens. But in order for you to be an alien, You cannot have come from this existence. I watch Brother Sanchez. Yes, I do. He's got a lot of great uploads. I agree with that. Okay, I gotta, because I went off my comment. So yeah, yeah. In order for that a being to be considered an alien, they have to come from a whole nother existence. Do you hear me? Okay, you come from this existence, you're not an alien. Okay, evil, of course, would hide what they really are. Okay. Cool. Awesome. We're coming together. That's awesome. We need to do more to come together. And if somebody has some info and it don't sound right to you, or you never heard it, or it sounds different from the info you have, okay, yes, they could be a COINTELPRO agent. But, they could also just be misinformed, because that's what, counterintelligence does. That's what they got the counterintelligence program for. So back to aliens. They're not aliens. Those are fallen angel hybrids. All the people. Yeah, and it's not just the serpents, because the race of angel that is under the angel of death, who is Azrael, is not the same as the race of angel that are the serpents, which is Gadriel or Godriel. They're not the same. The angels that fell with Satan are not the same as, the ones who fell with the other ones. They're not the same. The only thing that they have in common is evil. And that's enough for our true Father to say they are all the same, which they are. In that one instant. Everything else is totally different about. Aliens are fallen angels mixed with the DNA of people. They're hybrids. Remember all those abductions that were going on, and this, that, and the third, and they were taking people eggs, and this, that, and the third? Yeah. The church doesn't know Bible 101. Because the Theological Society is controlled by whom? The Catholic Church. You got Christian preachers who don't, and a lot of people don't even know where Christianity came from. It came from the Anglo-Saxon church. The Anglo-Saxon, that's the Anglo is English, Saxon is German. Okay? That's the English-German church. Nope, they don't even know that. Okay. Oh, another man, they stole a lot. They stole everything. Evil stole everything and hid everything, especially dealing with the truth. That's why I keep saying the Vatican has something that belongs to me. You know what I'm saying? And I want it back. And then a lot of people don't even know who the Jesuit priests are. The Jesuit priests, just like the Lutheran priest or the Protestant priest, are still under the Vatican because they do everything the Vatican does. Pope is misleading his fellow proud Caucasians. It's not just a Caucasian, because a Caucasian is a genetically dead Asian. So that being said, there's a difference between the Caucasians and the Europeans. Because nowadays, even though you got Caucasian and European people calling themselves white, originally it was just, the Pope is from Argentina. He's from there. That's his home country. Look it up. That's his home country. So, of course, that's just like all the children that's missing from Chicago dealing with Obama. And yes, Obama is a pedophile. They all are pedophiles. They have to be. They all have to do the rituals. They have to. You cannot go in front of a TV and not have done the ritual, especially if you have any amount of money. Billy Graham. Yeah, Billy Graham. He was running around with L. Ron Hubbard and the dude that made the Jehovah Witness Church and all that stuff. Yeah, he was running around with them. Okay. When y'all get a chance, y'all want to know what I know? You look up the first and second book of Adam and Eve. Look up the book of the fall of Adam and Eve. Look up the book of Enoch. Look up the Pistis Sophia. When you translate from Latin to English, it means missing and abusing children, yet the masters allow him to scapegoat the innocent. Yeah. We who were just born here are responsible for, you know what I'm saying, this, that, and the third. How can you be responsible for that which you do not know? You can't. Yeah, look up the book, the Pistis Sophia, which means the faith of wisdom. Unity is key between those who truly believe in the true Father and those who've done their true research and know that God is not our true Father. Okay? That's just the gist of the truth of this thing here. Words are everything. If they were nothing, then in the Bible, when our true Father says, "My word will not return to me void," that wouldn't mean anything. Void, what does void mean? Void means empty. What's an empty word? To me, drinking what in the morning? Oh, apple cider vinegar. Well, first off, it wasn't an apple. It was a fig. And it was a fig. Okay? You read the book of the fall of Adam and Eve. It was a fig, not an apple. You read the book of Adam and Eve. It was a fig tree. It was not an apple tree. It was a fig tree. Yeah, it was a fig tree. Matter of fact, before they get kicked out, in the book of the fall of Adam and Eve, they talk about how Eve tells about how the serpent became a mouthpiece for Satan. Lucifer became a mouthpiece for Satan. Satan, through Lucifer, lied to Eve, saying that you won't die. You'll become like, the masters. You'll become like the true Father, knowing good, but the difference between what is good and what is evil. We're not supposed to eat meat, but the true anointed son said, if you gotta, look, I know how evil this place is. If you gotta eat meat, you pray over it. You pray and ask the true Father to bless whatever food you put in your mouth. And if our true Father, if you truly believe in our true Father, He will, bless whatever you're going to put in your mouth. Because it says that in the Bible. So we weren't supposed to eat meat. And then we got the clean laws. The clean laws pertain to the meat you can and cannot put in your body. Okay? For instance, emu. You can eat emu. Llama. Because it doesn't have a cloven hoof. If the animal's hoof are 2 instead of 1, then you're not supposed to eat that. Like camels. You're not supposed to eat camel. You can't eat camel. Camel is seen as unclean because it's got a cloven hoof. Its hoof go in 2. It's not a whole hoof. Okay. Llamas, you can eat because that's clean meat because it's got a whole hoof like a horse. So horses are considered to be clean meat. Goats are considered to be unclean meat. Turkeys are considered to be clean meat. Chicken are considered to be unclean meat unless it's like a guinea fowl. Prairie chickens are clean, but like chickens on the farm, domesticated chickens are considered to be unclean. But all chickens are scavengers. And any animal that was a scavenger was said to be unclean. So you couldn't put it in your body. Any fish without scales, any of the bugs of the ocean, lobsters are bugs of the ocean, crawdads are bugs of the ocean. You're not supposed to eat those. Grasshoppers are unclean. But locusts are clean meat. A lot of people didn't know that. Yeah, tryptophan is in turkey. Yes, it is. Pork is basically made of parasites and disease. Yeah. When you read the clean laws, you find out a lot of stuff that a lot of people don't know. When you read them, okay, you read the clean laws. That's not what I was looking for. Let me see. Tryptophan. Turkey, yes. Turkey is a sedative. Yes. But it's clean. You can eat it. You're not supposed to eat. I already went through catfish and everything else. You're not supposed to eat none of that. It goes even into the fruit you're supposed to eat. You're not supposed to eat any fruit whose seed is not on the inside of it. So things like strawberries, you're not supposed to eat strawberry because the seed is on the outside of it. Any seedless fruit. The clean laws are what was given to Moses, if I'm not mistaken. Or was it Noah? It was one of those two. It's either in the Noahide law or the Mosaic law. Look up it, just if you get a chance, type in clean laws. And it'll come up on Google. Clean laws, biblical clean laws. It's the I think it's in Deuteronomy because I think it's you're welcome. I think it's around where it talks about a woman and like her period, and I've been very careful about word usage thus far, years since learning the importance of words. Right. Like spelling. A lot of people don't know when you spell something, you're casting a spell. Because everything is energy. Every single thing in this life. Okay? With everything being energy, your words are energy. That's your words are energy in the purest form that they can come. Yeah, a little. Yeah, frequency. Yes. See, our reality. It tells you in the Bible that creation is built line upon line, precept upon precept. Okay? That means frequency had to build on type of frequency in order for the confines or construct of time and space to exist. Which a lot of people don't know. Time is eternity. And space is infinity. The true expression of time and space is eternity and infinity. Time or eternity is masculine. Space or infinity is feminine. Wow. You see what I'm saying? A lot of people, they can't even get that far. See, evil divided everything to confuse everybody. Because spirit, the knowledge of the spirit, of the unseen. Yeah. Frequency, yeah. Yes. Do you know the knowledge of the unseen and the knowledge of the seen are one and the same? Because if that's the case, if that's not the case, because that's what evil does. Because evil doesn't want us to know the truth. It doesn't. It wants us to be asleep in the deception, and people don't know how far or deep the deception goes. Okay? That's why I say you can't be woke, you can't be conscious, you can't be a truther and calling somebody crazy. You can't do that. Right. Lamb is clean. It's got a whole hoof. Its hoofs aren't cloven. It's not in two. Goats are in two. Goats are unclean. Or ram. Goat is unclean. Lamb is clean. But I can't even really say that anymore. I mean, it's a clean animal. It seemed in the laws it was said it was clean, but nowadays they got, you got cows being fed to cows, chicken being fed to chicken, sheep being fed to sheep, and pig is being fed all that shit. Okay? Pigs become the disease because they don't have sweat glands like we do. Our pores, every pore over our entire body has a gland connected to it, two glands connected to it. Except for, no, that's all over our body. Yeah, cold cut turkey, everything is different. Turkey is being fed to turkey, and a lot of turkeys are GMO. Exactly. That's the only place that they got pores. They sweat out their hoofs. But that doesn't get rid of 90% of the toxins they take in their body. So they have pus pockets on their forepaws and stuff that pus comes out of. Literal pus. Okay, these are pigs. Okay? That's why. Yeah. Ew. Yeah. That's why their whole body is a, disease factory, basically. They're made up of it. Okay? Now, let's go into the things of the unseen. It's gonna be kind of a long video, I see, because I'm not done explaining. People don't even know it. They don't even take the time to research it because there is a fear there. The same fear that keeps people away from me is the same fear that keeps people from actually doing their own research. Okay, next time somebody tell you you're crazy, okay, tell them, well, you don't know where the term conspiracy theorist came from. So how can you call me crazy when you don't even know where that term is from? As they eat the bacon, taking in the toxins that's finna probably get their ass heartworm. Okay, yeah, they calling you crazy. Not even praying over the bacon that they're eating. You know, they could at least pray over the bacon and acknowledge that there is a creator, originator of all life. They don't even do that. Please tell us more about your bio bracelet. And by the way, all food that the enemy is in charge of is toxic, which is why praying over it is vital. Exactly. Yes. That's why you can nowadays eat some of everything or anything, even the unclean food, because I asked them, do you know that you can get neurocysterosis? LOL, that's what my nursing kicks. I know, right? And no, most people don't even know what neurocystic cirrhosis is. It's an abnormal condition of cysts on your nerve cells, I believe. Am I right? So the bioenergy bracelets, go online. You can buy them. They're between 18 to 80 bucks. Okay, on Amazon, or just like go online. There's a company called Bioenergy that you can buy them from. You can also get them from Willis Judd. And if you know anything about Willis Judd is based out of England. And I actually caught the nurse the nurse that that takes care of the queen. She was wearing one of the bracelets. It's not, I don't think it looks exactly like mine, but yeah, she had one of them on too. So they know. Okay. But what are bioenergy bracelets for? Bioenergy bracelets, because okay, this is what I used to say. We are universes within solar systems, within Earths, that live on the Earth, in the solar system, in the universe. And if you want to go deeper, we're omniverses within multiverses, within the universe, and within us. There's the omniverse, which has the multiverse within it, which has the universe within it, which has whatever solar system we're on within ourselves right now, which has whatever Earth within ourselves right now. Okay? I know it's really different. Okay, it's a specific form of the infectious parasitic disease and cysts form in the infection, by the infection, and grow within the brain, causing neurological syndromes such as epileptic seizures. Yeah, I probably have some brain parasites. Why? Because I ate raw bacon at one point in time before I even knew. Okay, so yeah. It's an abnormal condition of cysts on your nerve cells. That's what neurocysterosis is. I'm a medical student too, so yeah. That kicked my whole like scientific medical, it's like a disease that kicks in. If somebody says something and you're like, you're so totally wrong about that. Okay. Honestly, let me show you. I think I showed y'all the Bible of the CDC. Ooh. This huge ass book right here. You see this? That's the Bible of the CDC. When you go see the doctor, that book is used basically to say, dang it, I broke my candy cane. That book is used to say, whatever illness you came in, you have to enter those codes for Medicare. Yep. And you have to, that is the encounter, that is the ICD code. And then this book right here, which I don't even have the CPT. The HCPCS. This book right here is where you get your encounter codes and everything else from. And it basically tells them, the payer, what the doctor did to remedy the issue, or, you know what I'm saying, the tests he did to find out what the issue was. All that stuff. Everything. Every syringe, every needle, everything has to be accounted for. Also, let me see. Where's my medical? So, oh. Ah! I'm getting attacked. I'm okay. There's this book. Pharmacology. Because being a biller and coder, you have to know how to measure the drugs, you know what I'm saying, that they give people. And if there's a discrepancy, let's say, like, you know what I'm saying, the patient is a 2-year-old child, and they're given, you see that on the encounter form that you're doing insurance for, you're seeing, you see that patient was given 50 milligrams per kilogram or something like that of I don't know, cyclobenzaprine or something. Sound right. Let's, make sure this is right. So there's that. Oh, here's my medical terminology book. This is actually the second one, because you got to take medical terminology 1 and 2. See, this is the second one. The first one I allowed one of my classmates to borrow because she was having trouble getting her book, and she had to actually pay for that shit out of pocket. So I was like, here, you can use this one. I just want it back. And I never got the book back. Ugh. So yeah, there's that. I passed most of my classes with flying colors. It's not like I got in school and then I got the money, you know what I'm saying, from my loans and stuff, and I was like, okay, see you, peace out. I ain't gonna do no work. Okay, hold on. Let me read this. Have you had to deal? No, I have not had to deal with the DSM-5, but I know the DSM-5 because that DSM-5 has been out literally since the first time I was ever given a diagnosis of having a mental or emotional disorder. The DSM-5 has been out since I was 9 years old. And then I remember them calling it the DSM-V. See? So, yeah, there's that. So I know, there's a lot of different things that go on with that. I know that certain things, it is evil. And you're welcome, Angie. And I got 2 N's on here. An Angie and an N. Actually, there was 2 N's on here. There's another N. I've had to deal with a lot of people who, when I told them, half the stuff I went through, I'm probably going to give me one too. But the thing about it is, all medications, all of the diagnoses are not scientifically backed. They are not. But the things that should be scientifically backed, you know what I'm saying? They're saying, oh, that's not a motherfucking illness, like narcissism. Malignant narcissistic personality syndrome, that's gone out of the motherfucking DSM. Anything with gender dysphoria or gender dysphoria, when you want to date outside of your sex or another sex. Well, there's only 2 sexes, male and female. If you're a female and you want to date a female, or if you're a male and you want to date a male, or if you want to change your sex, that's seen as, they used to be seen as gender dysphoria. What is gender dysphoria? It's you having a bad outlook on your own sex or the opposite sex. Okay? That's going out of the DSM. Let's see, what else is gone? They're trying to take pedophilia out of the DSM. Do you know why? Now it's not. I'm surprised they wouldn't. Yeah, now it's not. I was on Xanax. I'm gonna tell y'all the medicines that I was taking. Okay? At one point in time. Let's see. There's this book. Every nursing student has to know about this one. It's Medical Law and Ethics. I got an A in that class. HIPAA. Yep. HIPAA. And it's basically HIPAA, but then you got, you know what I'm saying, COBRA, Omnibus, and Medicare law, and all that stuff. All of it. So yeah, I got a pretty good grip about what's going on here. Okay? I got a pretty good idea about what's going on here. Oh, and here's my Tabors that I had to get. The 22nd one. This motherfucker big and they don't even have everything in there. That motherfucker is huge. Thank you. You do, sister. Very smart and knowledgeable. Thank you. And you are very smart and knowledgeable yourself. And I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful to our true Father for waking us up out of the deception. Actually, you want to know something? Back in 2011, I saw the deception getting deep. Back in 2011, I saw everybody becoming somebody that I didn't want to be. Everybody was all, it's like today. They're still, fame. Money. You know what I'm saying? Clout. Right? Thank you, Ann. I feel the same way. And I saw that and I'm like, our true Father, there's more going on here than I had stopped calling our true Father God even back then. Cause I felt something wasn't right calling him God. I'm like, God, that doesn't sound right when I'm talking to our true Father. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't feel right. There's gotta be something else, so I try and say Father God. You know what I'm saying? Something else but even that sounded wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I'm back then and I'm like, true supreme creator, Father God. I don't want to be deceived. I don't want to be one of the ones who walking around here sleep. No, there's nothing wrong with you. There's something wrong with this reality we living in, and you feel it and you know it. Don't hate the fact that you don't trust anything. Love that fact, because honestly, it's probably one of the things that's kept you safe and alive. You don't trust anybody but our true Father. Okay? That's the only one you're supposed to trust. Through his true anointed Son. That's the only one. And and that's what I was trying to explain to my niece. She's like, when you know the feeling of God and this, that, and the third, it don't matter this, that, and the third. And I'm like, you still going off what evil told you. You haven't done your research like I've done my research. You don't know the things that I know. And it's not, she took it as, I think I'm smarter than her, and it's not like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm not smarter than anybody else. When I was the kid in school, okay, I'm still this person today, okay? Teacher say something. Me. Okay? She had asked the motherfucking school, the classroom question. I was always that person. Putting my hand up first. I was always that person. I always ask questions. And I still do. I still have so many questions. My motherfucking my college classmates would be wanting to kill my ass because they ready to get out of the classroom and go take care of their families and everything. I'm like, but wait, one more question. They start groaning and stuff. Oh man, come on, man. You know, yeah, that's me too. They give me, they start rolling their eyes. One of them I was going to school with, she, married and got a whole family and shit. Every time she see me, I know, right, the good old days. Every time she see me, she get this look. Hold on, let me see if I can do it. This crazy, this look on her face, and I'm just like, what is look for? And I'd hear her whispering about me and shit. I'm like, this is not motherfucking, we in college, bitch. You grown with a 2-year-old and a 3-year-old. Stop acting like we in elementary. The only thing that should be elementary here is this knowledge that we get. Shit. So, there's that. I've always been that person. There are grown people. There's a lot of adults who are trapped in children's bodies because nobody ever taught them how to be adults. There are 60, 70, 80-year-old children out here that never grew up. I got 2 brothers right now. 3, 4. I can say they don't know what the hell they doing. One of them is in jail. One of them just got out of jail. And it's messed up because my mom, after she killed her husband, who was he wasn't much of a man himself. Once she killed him, they didn't have a father figure. Okay? And that was the only father figure that was there. Y'all want to see the death certificate? Because I got my mom's husband's death certificate. And it says on there that she shot him. Which she didn't kill him, but she did at the same time. Because my mom, a lot of people don't know this, my mom was raped in the church from the ages of 1 and 3 years old. Okay? So my mom, MK Ultra was around before. Yeah, MK Ultra was around before a lot of people even knew what to call it. Okay? My mom was born 9/11, 1953. My mom said that the court system in prison and even the mental health system, because a lot of people, let me finish this. I'm gonna go to that, and I'm gonna finish this. I'm gonna go to that. Okay, I'm gonna go back to the revolving door. My mom had a lot of mental illness to deal with because my grandmother had a lot of mental illness to deal with. My grandmother was promised to be married to a man, a guy whose dad ate his mom and made a chair out of her bones. My mom knows these stories. My mom told me about how there are, even to this day right now, there are cannibals who live in the caves of Michigan. Okay? And somehow, some way, my family got trapped up there. And my mom was 12. She said that her and my uncle Kenny, her brother, they were made to either it was either gonna be them two or the whole family. So my grandmother gave them two up, and in order for my mom, who was 12, and her brother, who was like 11, to stay alive, they had to pass a test, and the test was right. The test was they were out camping. My grandmother hated being in the house. My grandmother had a station wagon, and she went everywhere all over this Midwest in her station wagon, fishing, hunting, hiking, and camping with all my uncles and aunts. Okay, that's how my grandmother got Lyme disease, because she got bit by a tick. Okay, which I feel like I should be able to sue the United States government or DARPA or one of them. You know what I'm saying? My grandmother was trying to stick to nature as they were changing nature. You know what I'm saying? So my mom, in this cave, she says she was walking through this cave with her brother, and they had to take off all of their clothes and walk through this cave, even shoes. Okay? While they're walking through this cave, they see people. Truth is life and safety. Yes, it is. They see people being boiled in huge ass pots, okay, over fire. They see people tearing babies apart and eating them. I don't know if there are bats in the cave. I'm not sure about that. I'm pretty sure if people were inhabiting the cave, it probably wasn't inhabited by bats. Matter of fact, there's a movie. There was a movie made about this cave. And this ain't the only one that's in Chicago, in America. There's different caves of cannibals. And all they do is eat people all day and walk around naked. That's good. You're about plant-based foods. Me too. I'm getting on that because, look at this. You see that? All of that is from all the chemicals that my body took in all these years. And I had no clue. I had a clue, but I didn't know then what I know now. And even what I knew then wasn't enough to, get my foster mom keep her from calling me crazy. Because I said I didn't want to eat pork. It's not, it's against, my religion. And she's like, well, in this house, you're going to eat this or nothing. And honestly, okay, so back to the story. My mom made it out of the cave. Okay, she made it through the cave. Unscathed, her and her brother. But there's a movie about the cave. Actually, it might be about a different one somewhere on the West Coast. Yeah. We see those of us who are always like that, who are always thirsty for knowledge. It's not just knowledge we were thirsty for. We were thirsty for truth. We were hungering after the truth. Okay, that's the meat. That's the bread. Okay. Yeah. If we were all in class together, we'd drive the class nuts. And honestly, it feel like each one of us, like, okay, let me say this like this. Y'all was like that all throughout y'all life, right, in class. Now, did you meet anybody else who was like you in class, in school, all throughout school? The teacher would quit. Actually, this happened when I was like in high school. We are very, very rare, okay? We probably, the three of us to probably keep four of us, because I know the Radical Home Sister's still around. We would actually probably, we should probably open up our own school somewhere. That'd be awesome. So I was 15 years old, and I was 16, and I had an IEP for math, because they said I had a disability in math, which is a total shit of crockery, because that's total crockery. So yeah, there is. So I was sitting up there, and my teacher, well, the teacher's aide, I was in pre-algebra, okay, pre-algebra, um, but I was above the class, the learning scale. I was above everybody else in that class, and I was the only female there too. Okay, I left that class teaching lessons. Okay, the student aide would allow me to get up and get on the projector and teach, you know what I'm saying, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Okay, different stuff like that. And then the next semester, yeah, we don't have a metric system for that simple fact right there, because we were literally only supposed to be sheep. We weren't supposed to know anything as far as the truth goes. All the lies that we know, that's all we were supposed to know. And then people were like, we can't do this. We can't allow this to happen. What's going to happen to our children? You see what I'm saying? What if our children don't follow in our footsteps and become one of the agents of change? Or, you know what I'm saying? They go to school, they don't get a government job. Okay? They might finish school, they might not. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be worse off than we were. We don't want that to happen to our children. We don't want that to happen to our family's children. We about to blow the whistle on this shit. That's why so many people who have blown the whistle have died for blowing that whistle that they blew. Whichever one it was. And that federal whistleblowers act does not, none of the laws. This is a world, this is a reality of reversals and topsy-turviness. That's why when evil does something, it's for more than one reason. When 9/11 happened, that was for more than one reason. It wasn't just for the Patriot Act. Okay? It wasn't just to take our rights away. It was for more than one reason. When them doing all these, y'all don't know about the DeMolay boys or the Rainbow Girls or the Daughters of Job. Y'all don't know about those organizations who are basically baby Eastern Stars and baby Masons. They start the children off at birth. My mom suffered so much. My mom cared for people so much that she can now no longer care for herself. My mother is struggling to get back to a moment in time, get to a place where she can care for herself once again. My mom can't even use the bathroom. She can't get up and walk 2 feet to the bathroom and sit on the toilet. That's how damaged my mom is. Okay? My whole our grandparents and parents did go through a lot. And because of that lot that they went through, they weren't able to cast a lot for our lives. Okay? So we're sitting up here literally stuck in the motherfucking dumps until everybody wake up. And unfortunately, everybody's not gonna wake up in a time. Y'all have grandchildren? Oh, everybody got grandchildren but me. I'm 30 years old. I'm the baby of the family. And I'm the only girl. I'm literally an alpha omega. Literally. Right. But it's hard because, you got your family that look at you crazy. And then, it's different. I can't even explain it. As far as like people in their families go, because I'm looking at my family and I'm like, A lot of my family were deceived by the evil. My mom even was deceived by the evil, and she was one of the elect. And you ain't gotta quote me and believe me on that, but that's totally my belief. You know, I mean, only somebody who was the elect can travel the whole world with your life in danger. You know what I'm saying? And then come back relatively unscathed. You have to see, a lot of people don't know what cycle they're breaking. You have to break the cycle of evil. Okay, what is this the end of days of? This is the end of the days of evil. Right. We all suffer from since before the 1900s, because they started doing vaccines back in the 17 1800s, but the even the thought of having a vaccine started in the 1500s. Do you know why the plague started in the 1500s? Because evil people like John Dee and that evil angel that came to talk to John Dee started doing motherfucking rituals. And the diseases come from evil. And you ain't got to believe me on that. Our true father, you feel for me, the older you get, the more you understand and see your mom in her strength. Right. That's how it's supposed to go. I understand my mom too. I see my mom's strength too. But I also see her weaknesses. I also see, you know what I'm saying, her faults. You know, I see her pain. I see the torment that she's been through. My mom is still tormented today. How? Right now, my mom is living in a retirement home. It's not even a retirement home. It's supposed to be a recovery home. And my mom is not recovering, so there's that. And I can't do anything about it because I'm still, hold on. I live off a salary of $700 a month, $750 a month. So, y'all need to research who John Dee was. Thank you. She's recovering a little bit more now. But I know that, you know, the stuff that they're giving her is doing more harm than good. They're using poison to prolong problems instead of using herbs to heal. You see what I'm saying? One of these days I'm gonna get on here and because I like to stay up on my mom's medication list. I'm gonna get on here and read her medication list off to y'all. Matter of fact, I got the old one. That's super, Yonina, because females, according to the liars that be, aren't typically strong in mass. No, they're typically not, because that's how this world was set up. So that women will be stronger in certain areas than men, and that men will be stronger in certain areas than women. So then that discrepancy could be used as something against us. So that they can say, oh, it's men versus women. It's the old versus the young. It's the black versus the white. It's the Christian versus the Muslim. I mean, you need to look up Morals and Dogma, because he writes right there. It's right there in black and white. How the Christian faith would be used against the Muslim faith in order to go into 3 world wars. I mean, the Ottoman Empire. Look at the Ottoman Empire. Wow, of course, don't trust mammograms. I mean, you might as well, if you feel like you're gonna go do a mammogram, you might as well walk into Fukushima and press your breast up against the wall of the facility. Come on, man. It's radiation. Okay, now let me explain something to you. Before the flood, I haven't gotten a mammogram either, and I don't plan on getting one. If I got cancer in my body, I can feel it. Because I know what cancer feels like, because I've had it in my body. As a matter of fact, it's still rummaging around my body right now. Matter of fact, most of us probably have free radical cells in our body that's causing cancer in ways that we don't even know. Okay? Why? Because Fukushima is invisible. Radiation is invisible. Matter of fact, a lot of people don't even know where the term dosage came from. A dosage came from a dosimeter. A dosimeter is the amount of radiation a person gets. I think it's either per kilogram in their body or per second of their exposure to it. Yeah. They had simian virus 40 in polio. Simian virus 40 doesn't just cause cancer. You can look up the book Dr. Mary's Monkey by Edward T. Haslam and read that book. Okay, you'll find out that it causes a lot of things. Exactly. It causes cancer. It causes the immunodeficiency virus in monkeys. Dr. Mary's Monkey. Yeah. Thank you, Angie. I am a baby. But I mean, that's to those who, I feel like, deserve that title of, you're over me, which that it's not a lot of people nowadays. I don't give a damn. Police are not the true authority, and they are here to protect us because guess what? We're chattel. That means we're property. That means they have to protect us. Because we're property of the United States. Unless you're a quote-unquote free man. They're killing us because they're order followers. That's the orders. I'm not calling the meter. I'm saying, look, the police done bothered me, and all I was doing was outside enjoying the blood moon. Okay, 3 years ago, I was outside enjoying the blood moon in April, and, my feet were, I was grounding and, connecting with the energy. And a policeman, this is the front of my high-rise building. I was out there, and this is at night. I was just chilling and enjoying the moon, and this police officer in this town pulls over, and he starts talking to me. We talking. And then, he's kind of like, well, where do you, where are you? And I'm like, I live here in the building. He's like, oh, you live here in the building? I'm like, yeah. And then, I might have said something or moved too quick. And the nigga starts reaching, and he's a white man. But, I mean, nigger also means ignorant. So, yeah, he's ignorant. The nigga went for his gun. Tall ass 6 feet some white man. They're not just satanic. That's another thing. Remember when I told you there's more than one fallen being? All of them have different ways that they're worshipped. So you just call them followers of evil. Doers of evil. Worshippers of evil. Satanic is too yeah. To call them satanic is too slim a term when there's 4 different fallen beings that they worship. Actually 5, because there's the destroyer. Okay? And they take turn worshiping all these different beings. If they're Luciferian, they worship Lucifer. If they're Satanists, they worship Satan. If they're Razielians, they worship Raziel. If they're Azazelians, they worship Azazel. If they worship Shiva, they're worshiping the destroyer. If they worship Krishna, They're worshiping Satan. Why? Satan and Krishna have characteristics that are undeniably similar. Don't worship your mom either. Okay? Because if you worship your mom, you'd have to worship your dad. Because without his information going into her spaceship, her energy ship, they sexualized everything, okay? They're trying to now make children look sexy. Children are not sexy. Okay? Not at all. Nope. And can't nobody make me believe they are either. Okay? Yeah. It's so astronomically ridiculous that it goes beyond astronomical. Well, I guess since I didn't know my dad, I must accidentally say it like that. Well, okay, now I'm not saying that, you know what I'm saying? I'm saying don't worship neither one of your parents, okay? That's what I'm saying. I'm not saying that you shouldn't acknowledge them. I'm not saying that you shouldn't give them respect. That analogy about mammograms. Well, it's true though. Okay. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that give them the respect. It's like how if you read out of the Circle 7 Quran, it says that it's got some verses from the Aquarian Gospel of the Christ of the Piscean age. Okay? It's not, he's saying, you should acknowledge the sun. You should acknowledge the moon. But do not worship either one of them. I used to get mammograms. They really try to push mammograms and vaccines. Of course. You got, okay, they give you a shot. And in that shot is mercury. And then you go stand in front of an x-ray machine for 30 minutes. And whammo blammo, you got galloping cancer. Read the book. Read the Dr. Mary's Monkey. Read the book. He talks about that. That's where I got that from. Galloping cancer can kill you in a month. Okay. And did you all know that cats get a version of the immunodeficiency virus? Well, they have a version of it in. That's the thing about viruses. All viruses, for the most part, we already have them in our system. Okay? If we don't, that's because our body, or even in epigenetics, your ancestors didn't run into those viruses. If your ancestors never ran into this, thing, this foreign body, this virus, then you won't have any antibodies for it. If you never ran into this virus, you won't have any antibodies for it. Okay? First they tell you, get the vaccine, it'll keep you from getting whatever the disease is they're saying they're using that prophylactic for. Okay? Which is a lie. It doesn't keep you from getting it. It puts that in whatever they're saying it'll keep you from getting. It puts it in your body. Okay? Then they went from saying, oh, it won't keep you from getting the disease. It'll just activate the antibodies so that if you do get the disease, it won't be as bad. And I love you. You have a great day too. You know what I'm saying? And if you run into somebody calling you a conspiracy theorist, let them know hold on, the CIA made up that term in 1967 because people was already on it about the assassination of John F. Kennedy. People was already on it. They're like, it's too much, there's too much, you know what I'm saying? There's too many different stories here. Just like the motherfucking Florida, the shooting. Yeah, the police. No, they protect those people because they are the owners, quote unquote, of us who are the cattle, quote unquote. Okay? But us being the property, we are the ones who are supposed to be being protected. Okay? But I mean, as far as us being individuals, the police were never meant to protect individuals. Okay, the police was never meant to protect a nation or, you know, anything like that. First off, I mean, policing came from, you know what I'm saying, the slave drivers. The overseer of the field that did what is it? Product loss management. You know how you know you're in the store, and if somebody steals in the store, they got the motherfucking security guard there. You know what I'm saying? They're the product loss management team, the security team. That's what the overseer was. Okay, the overseer went from being that type of production loss manager to being a different type of production loss manager for the Corporation of the United States of America. Okay, it's no different from Walmart. When you first come into Masonry, you don't know what you're worshiping. You don't know what you're serving. You don't know what really, truly, honestly is going on. And until you get up to the 33rd degree and become, you know, part of the Committee of 300, who are the anarchical part of the pyramid, they're the ones who can do whatever they want to, basically. They're the free part of Masonry. Cause see, Masonry, you can't there's different types of Masonry, and you can't confuse Freemasons with Masons, and you can't confuse Masons with Prince Hall Masons, because Prince Hall Masons are controlled by the Boule, because they are the black sect of Masonry. Okay? The Masons are the ones who have not gained their freedom by becoming truly enlightened yet. Okay? So the Freemasons, all of them are part of the Committee of 300. And they're basically, that's why there's so many of them. That's why there's so many different groups of them and stuff. Because they are, they can do whatever they want. And they're usually at odds with one another. You know what I'm saying? That's why you'll have one Freemason who's, you know, a Democrat, and another Freemason, not just a Mason, a Freemason, who's a Republican. They're both working for the same team, but they're working for different factions of that same team. Compartmentalization. Just like the CIA and everything else to do with the government. Break it down into itty bitty, teeny tiny, weetsy, wicey parts. Okay? So nobody truly ever knows anything that's happening. Yeah, that's why they do that. Excuse me. This book right here, I want to show y'all this before I get off of here right quick. It's called Tools for Freedom. I forgot where I got this from. Oh, it's called the ISA. I think it's the Institute for something something. I forget the name of it. Um, I ordered this book for free, and in it they have a whole lot of different stuff that you can use. Like they have books, they have DVDs, they have there are ads for like free generators so that you can live off the grid comfortably without having to use, gasoline for a generator or, solar energy in the sky, which, that's down 60%. The whole global, solar radiation energy uptake rate is down like 60%. And honestly, it's literally always cloudy here. I feel like it's London. This is not London. This is the middle of the US of A. A heartland. Okay? But you look outside, you like, England. Oh, the Queen's tea. To have a spot of tea. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what it feels like. I mean, you living in America and feeling like London. How does that work? But yeah, because of all the geoengineering. Okay, nobody talks about anything that needs to be talked about anymore. Okay, and a major part of that is because the so-called conscious community with the black people, the so-called truther community with, the conservative liberals, and, the just woke community as a whole are not as woke as they think they are. They do not know the things that they think they know. And there needs to be deeper, research, deeper learning. They need to go deeper into deception. Actually, don't go into deception. Go deeper into truth so you can find out the difference between the truth of truth and the truth of the lie. I can tell you the difference. The truth of truth is good. The truth of the lie is evil. And that's the basic truth of it. But don't just stop at truth and say, oh, I know everything now. Horrible what they're doing to children to appeal to perversion. I noticed a couple. Yeah. And why do you think so many celebrities are implicit in this shit? You got celebrities going to get boys, these evil boys, young men who tortured and raped a child to, you know what I'm saying, a supposedly invisible deity, Satan, to appease him, to join his ranks, protect the products of evil. Yeah, I mean, you had Johnny Depp going down there for the Louisiana what do they call it, the Louisiana 3 or some shit, like the Mississippi 3, I can't remember, but yeah, the 3 boys who killed that one boy for Satan. And then, oh, he's mentally disturbed. He's, this, that, and the third. They're this, that, and the third. It's a freedom of... So you got the freedom. You telling me you got the freedom to kill somebody for wealth, a seeming amount of wealth, and seeming amount of love. Okay? That's the thing about evil. Whatever fix you get from evil, whatever remedy that it, imbues to you, that it gives to you, it never sticks. Never. That's why, look at Chief Keef. His whole camp is gone damn near. Huh? What his name? Fredo Santana just died. He was sacrificed. Huh? I mean, Johnny Depp going to get out the Memphis 3 out of jail. That didn't jog anybody's mind and say, wait a minute, something's not right here. Why are these upstanding, celebrity, wealthy, famous people going to a little podunk town? I showed you my apartment to tell y'all about the danger. I don't even know. Earlier. I'm trying to remember that. Ann. I think it's Ann. Angie. Sorry, Angie. Ann went to work. It's Angie. Okay, I'm gonna try and remember that. What else was I saying about the danger? Because I'm talking about a lot of different dangers here. The dangers that I'm talking about are dangerous for me to talk about. Well, not really for me, because everybody still thinks I'm crazy. But once y'all stop thinking I'm crazy, they might try and snipe my ass. Anyway, what do we really need? The whole earth to shake and the sky to go black and the moon to turn blood red. Do we really need for that to happen, and all of that happened in a day? Okay, do we need for that to happen for y'all to stop saying we don't know what's going on here? We don't even know what truth is anymore. Okay? Look at all the motherfuckers who's backing up Tekashi 6ix9ine. And them men, none of them men have any morals. If they do, they're not true morals. They're twisted and distorted. They have a fucked up moral, the fucked up moral of, better you than me. Or, you know what I'm saying? Better yours, not mine. So, you got a 2-year-old child. I got a 2-year-old child too. But because your child ain't my child, somebody raping your child is okay. That's how they think. Long as they ain't raping mine. That's how evil motherfuckers think. Because that's how they were entrained to think. Okay? People who leave, I want to get back on the mental issue. Because that's a revolving door too. How so? Let me give you for instance. My brother, Lil Ben. He goes from being locked up in a high security mental institution in St. Charles, Illinois, to being locked up in the to being locked up in prison, the penal system here in Henry County, to being homeless on the street because he trying to go info. Yeah, they're privy to info on us. But the thing about it is, I really don't have any info out here. I stole a bag of chips like almost 10 years ago. That's all they know. And I had a warrant for failing to. I had a warrant here and I had a warrant in Chicago. Both times it was for failing to appear at court. But in Chicago, I didn't know anything about it because I was just still being a dumbass running around outside. Even though I was trying to hang on to truth, and I didn't know what was going on. But I was like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna hang on to truth no matter what." And when I see wrong, I'm gonna say something. Not to no motherfucking government official. I'm gonna say something to the motherfucker doing wrong. Okay. So that's all they know about me out here. They know my family. My mom has been locked up out here before for selling drugs. Yeah, she was like 40, almost 50 when that occurred. 40 something, almost 50. So there's that. Yeah, so my brother, he go from being locked up in a highly secure mental institution to being locked up in a penal system out here in Henry County to being on the street, homeless, because there is no system out here to make, just like anywhere else, but definitely in places where there's all white people. White people want to act like they don't get motherfucking mental illnesses, when it's more white people with mental illness that is identified than it is with any black person here in the United States, or of melanin for that matter. We black people are more diagnosed because, of course, that's a psychological thing. It's not that white people don't go in and don't get diagnosed. There's a whole lot of white people that be going in getting motherfucking assessments done. And the motherfucking psychiatrist says, well, doesn't seem like anything's wrong to you and me. With you to me. Clean bill of health in your mental and emotional bodies, even though there's a whole lot of pain there. You know. It's just wrong. So the brother that I'm telling y'all about, he came over here last night. Now he's homeless because my family is damaged. We're damaged, it seems to be, beyond our repair. I don't think we'll ever really get a chance to be in a house together or even visit each other. You know what I'm saying? In like my mom's house. You know, because it's just damaged as fuck. My aunt, well, much gratitude to you for all you do to educate us. I know you've got to go, but wanted you to know that. Thank you. Thank you. That's why I do this for free. This is free 99. Okay? I would post a link to where I got all the info. Look it up. Go research the first and second book of Adam and Eve. Okay? Go look up the book of the fall of Adam and Eve. Those two books are different. Okay? Different. They might sound the same. They're different. Trust me. I read both of them. Go look up the book of the Cave of Treasures. Okay? You'll find out that there was a seed line of Cain who was saved in the flood too. I don't know why. The light fixture, perhaps. Light fixtures aren't... I mean, living in this apartment building is dangerous. Shoot. It's, first off, things that can... Yeah, because I got LED lights in here. We don't have no sprinkler system in this bitch. Okay, there's no sprinkler system. There's a hose system. They got water hoses on every floor for a fire. If a fire ever happened, they got water hoses and fire extinguishers. They don't have a sprinkler system set up here. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's that. And then, you know, I don't even want... everybody here does their part to make sure there isn't a fire that happens here. Try to. But that doesn't, you know, negate the fact that evil likes to make shit happen. It's not life happens. No. Stop blaming stuff on life that is the fault of evil. Life didn't do that to you. Life don't want nobody to hurt. Evil wants everybody to hurt. And it's like evil is the one. Yeah, Tekashi 6ix9ine. Tekashi ain't got no morals. And neither does his crew. It's literally a crew of evil infested by evil entity, you know what I'm saying, people walking around with him. That's all it is. And the ones that's trying to attack him and for clout chasing and this, that, and the third, that it's all irrelevant. And unfortunately, because of what's going on with the earth right now, we're going to be made to see. Those of us who, you know, were trying to ignore it, and those of us who knew it. We're all going to be made to see at one point, at the same time, at one point in time, that is the most frivolous thing you could ever bring out your mouth. Even think of. Frivolous. Nothing. Filled with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Cardi B. All the rest of them. I'm naming them Not because I want clout. I don't give a fuck about clout. Literally. Again, clout can go kiss my dead dog's ass. Okay? Along with all the rest of them fuckers. That's what they can do. I don't give a fuck about that. What I care about is the truth. What I care about is disseminating the truth. Okay? What I care about is waking people up out of this deception that's so deep that a lot of people don't even know that they're living in it. Immersed in it. That's what I want. I want the earth to be healed. If I had a wish right now, and a genie to grant it, I would ask that the earth and all of those who are here, who are hurting, who and their pain has been caused by evil, I'd ask for all of us to be healed. But I can't ask a genie. You have to ask that of our true Father, and because He's the only one who can truly do that. It's not His will. It's not our true Father's will to see the earth suffer and die. He doesn't want that for the earth. He doesn't want that for any of us. Somebody said earlier, it's about unity. Yes, but which side are you on? Whose side are you on? Because if you are evil and you working for the lie, for evil, you can't love the truth. And you can't love our true Father. In that condition, in that state, you can't. It's not possible. Okay? You can't love two masters. You can't serve two masters. You're going to either serve truth or you're going to serve the lie. You're either going to serve good or you're going to serve evil. And of course, once again, don't listen to the Gnostics. And the Gnostics came about because they took the books that the Catholic Church threw out and said, we're going to just follow these books then. Okay? But those books don't belong to the Gnostics. All the texts that we read come from Africa. They might call it the Middle East right now. Okay? But it's Africa. So I just had to get on here and let y'all know y'all don't know what you think you know. Yeah, that was weird. I just had to get on here and let these truthers, this conscious community, these woke people, I had to let you know you don't know what you think you know. Okay? You don't know about who the devil is or what he look like. You think the devil is a serpent, but he's not. Trust me, they use these things against truthers they're threatened by, even from the past. They investigate via interviewing family, neighbors about things you say and do, pissing off an ex-boyfriend can be used against you. I already know that. You think I don't know that? I do. It's called gaslighting. Okay? It's a tactic used by evil to make you think you're crazy. It's used by evil to use others against you to make you think you're crazy. Okay? They got, voice to cranium, V2K technology, where they can send a frequency and you hear a voice in your skull, in your head. That's how I know our true Father isn't here. He's here. He's right here. He's in the energy center of it all. Yeah. Just like my mom was persecuted and her mom before her and her mom before her. We got 5 generations of persecution going on here. I got evil that I'm dealing with from both sides of my family. Generational evil. And to boot, not just that, but to boot, my dumb ass stood up here and got enthralled. Enraptured. It was just something so intriguing about the ancient ones. Okay? And this book called the Necronomicon. Don't ever read from that forbidden book. Don't even look it up. Okay? It's evil. Okay, whatever you do, if you see something pop up in your face, you rebuke it in the true name of our true Father. Rebuke that shit. Okay? Don't look that book up. Don't look up the authors that's connected to it. H.P. Lovecraft. Even Edgar Allan Poe, because, I mean, they're damn near basically the same era. And I was enthralled with Edgar Allan Poe, too. I loved Edgar Allan Poe. I'm a poet. I got a poem published. I got other poems that I ain't published yet. I wanted to write a book of poetry. I'm still working on it. Because, I believe, that entertainment should be used, for entertaining purposes. Also, I think it should be used to our true Father's glory. Because it says it in the Bible that everything is used to his glory no matter what. That's right. It's it's evil, not life. And believe it or not, evil. Of course. Evil is... How do you think Eve, got to the point where she was like, okay, I'll give Adam some if, I eat of this fruit. Now, the thing about giving your word is, it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. Once you give your word, you can't go back on it. If that's the case, after Eve took a bite off the tree, off the fig fruit, and all the leaves in the garden lost the leaves off the tree, the leaves fell from the tree. And she saw that happen, and she instantly knew what she did was wrong. If she could have went back on her word that she gave to the serpent that she was going to make Adam eat some of the fruit too, Adam wouldn't have ate off the fruit. How do I know that? It's in the book of the fall of Adam and Eve, which is different from the first and second book of Adam and Eve. Okay, wait a minute. They're being used by evil. Every last one of them, from Beyonce to Cardi B, and then some. Back in the day, Tina Turner, Whitney Houston. They were all under MK Ultra. Why do you think Ike B. Turner is so motherfucking bad? MK Ultra existed back then too. Do y'all know the first transgender person was the first successful one was from the 1800s? And they called it a success because the person didn't die. They didn't die on the operating table, and they didn't die after operation. So that person walked around mutilated, but hey, they're still alive, surgically mutilated on purpose. A lot of people don't even know why pedophiles. Trump is trying to kill the drug dealers who are not responsible for the opioid crisis going on in America right now. But a pedophile can walk free? That's good, Angie. I'm on the same side of our true Father, just the same as you are, the true and living supreme being. Yes. The creator who created everybody, everything in the world. The creator who brought the sun and the moon here to this planet. Or brought it in closer. Yeah, I worship and believe in him too. I'd rather see, that's the thing about the difference between knowing good and knowing evil. See, I know evil, but I don't believe in evil. Because I'm not going to give my energy to that which seeks to harm me. See, even for universal communication, you can't. Once you know the truth, you cannot do that, because then you have to tell the person. If they ask you, why are you not saying God, you have to tell them, because God is the serpent who deceived Adam and Eve in the garden. That's God. Tell them who Godrill is. Tell them that Godrill, just because it doesn't have the RIEL on the end of it, doesn't mean then that's not the name. Really? Come on, man. So it's a synonym. It's an onomatopoeia. It sounds the same, but it ain't the same. Come on, man. Get that shit out of here. GODGADGAWDGAUD. It's not even the devil's representation. It's one of evil's representation. See, this war started billions of years ago. Okay? 2 moons have been destroyed. 2. Okay? 2 moons. Not 1, 2. Okay? The asteroid belt out there. Right. I laugh at the gaslighters. The asteroid belt out there, that motherfucker is the moon, one of our moons that used to be. It's not existing anymore. It's existing as an asteroid belt. That's what it is. That radiation belt out there, that was a nuclear bomb. It had the energy of like 100 million Hiroshimas. Okay? That was from a war that happened billions of years ago between good and evil that's still going on to this day. That's ending now in this generation. Okay? Man and woman was created more than one time. You read that in the book of Genesis. Well, Sister Angie, we all have melanin. Okay? Even albinos have melanin. It's called neuromelanin. Okay? Even white people, yeah, they have melanin too. So we're all melanated. The 2 types of melanin is eumelanin, which is U means good, you know that, melanin, and the pheomelanin, which is eumelanin is selenium based. It's based in selenium. Pheomelanin, which is white people, is based out of sulfur. A lot of people don't know that. Then there's the ones who are the albinos. Albinos don't have either one of those 2 melanins. They just have neuromelanin, which is based out of phosphorus or photons or light. You see what I'm saying? So because of that, saying, the melanated ones, this, that, and the third, it's kind of a misnomer. You could say just, I don't care if you say black people or white people, honestly. Just to because we all have melanin. But in truth, there is no black and white. Because black people, we're the indigenous people of this land. But we were told, oh, you came from across the water. Yeah. Like 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, maybe even a couple 100,000 years before y'all even got here. We came from Africa. We've been here. And not on the thing of color, but white people kill me. They do. They feel, they talk about us being monkeys and swinging from trees. And I'm like, so you came out of the cave driving a motherfucking flying car, motherfucker? Really? Come on. Don't even go there. Okay? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. And honestly, we all came from the same place. We all came from the same place. The only thing that didn't come from the same place is evil. Okay, so this war been going on for billions of years. And it's now ending. Unfortunately, it might have to end with the destruction of this solar system. But it's ending. One way or the other. Earth is included in this solar system. So yeah, Earth is ending too. Before evil had a body, evil was just evil. Okay? And evil was on the outskirts of creation, in the outer darkness. Okay? Remember in the Bible says, the wicked ones will be cast out into outer darkness where there is weeping and gnashing of the teeth. That's where they came. Well, that's where evil came from. And out in the darkness, there's the void. There is the abyss, the bottomless pit. There is hell and death. That exists. Okay, and they're all beings and they're things at the same time. I know it's hard to explain that, but do your research and you'll find out what I'm saying is true. Now, the creation, this is a perverted society where pedophiles are celebrated because of Alfred Kinsey. Like I said, let's research the Alfred Kinsey Foundation. Research who Alfred Kinsey is. Okay, and you'll find out, the Alfred Kinsey Foundation is not what you think it is. Everything, like I said, this is a world of reversals. So there's that. So before this war even started, creation was a party. Creation was having a party. Woo! Party! No evil. You know what I'm saying? We all good. We all having fun. This is life. Woo! Creation. Woo! Thank you, Creator. Woo! Praise Creator. This is our party for praising Creator. Woo, woo, woo. Okay? That's what life was like. Okay? Now, evil could have left its ass outside of the party of life and creation. They didn't like it. So what? They didn't like the party of creation. Okay. No. Evil didn't like the party of creation, what that was going on here in creation so much. Evil was like, you know what? I think I'm finna go crash this party. Because they just having too much fun. They're making too much noise. Okay? Noise that, we don't like. Because we like suffering. Because that's what evil likes. So it's like, evil's like, I'm going to find a way inside of creation. And I'm finna crash this party. I'm finna take it over. Okay? So lo and behold, there's the white throne has always been there. The son of our true father has always sat at his father's right side. The only time he left his father's right side was when he came down here to be born in a woman. And if you look up the Gospel of Mary or the Pro-Evangelion, meaning the beginning of the chosen one before, he got here. Mary's dad was a temple priest. A lot of people don't know that. So anyway, evil was looking for a way into creation to crash the party. Okay. And lo and behold, now Satan is the one, he was the angel who was in charge of the music for the praise of Creator and the tones of creation. And he was in charge of, he was basically the guardian of the mercy seat. He was the one who protected the throne of the chosen one, aka the Christ. He didn't like how everything was going. But that was the seed that evil planted. You see what I'm saying? And then evil started whispering in Satan's ear. You could do better than what he doing on that throne. He don't deserve to be on that throne. You deserve to be on that throne. Maybe you can do something to get him off the throne and take over. These are the thoughts going through the head of Satan. Okay? How do I know this? Because my connection to our true Father gives me a discernment unlike you've ever seen before, you've ever known before, okay? And this discernment it gives me the ability to use these abilities in the unseen, like, I don't know, people have never done before. Remember when he said, the true anointed son said, you'll be doing everything I've done and greater? It's kind of like that. So anyway, that's the best way I can explain. So, but why is it not on the TV screen? Why am I not on the news? Because evil don't want me to be, the evil don't even want people to know I exist. They don't want to know people, they don't want people to know people like me are out here. Evil don't want nobody to know nothing. Not even itself. Anyway, so these thoughts, some people are programmed that you lose them with a certain word usage, i.e. the Most High being the Most High Supreme, threw off someone off the other day in live stream hosting. People are used to church teachings, yes, and you only have a short seconds long attention span, yeah, because of evil. That's why they put all the chemicals in the air. The same aluminum, the same thing that causes people to contract Alzheimer's is the same thing that causes your attention span to decrease. So now people, where you had, maybe the attention span of, a truly intelligent person, you only now have the attention span of a guppy. You went from in your brain capacity, you went from being an actual person to being a fish. Which is possible. You want to know why? Because when you read the book of the Cave of Treasures, you find out that people are every animal that's ever existed, ever in creation that our Father said was good. Our true Father. Read the book of the Cave of Treasures. It's got the creation story in there. Read it. Anyway, now back to how evil got into creation from the get-go, billions of years ago. So, time goes on. And Satan was basically kicked out of the throne room. And he was given another task to do in heaven. He wasn't kicked out of heaven yet. He was kicked out of the throne room. Okay, so our true Father goes and he's going around still doing his thing in creation, and he gets to a point where in creation where he wants to create the embodiment of himself, basically, and that's where man comes in. And he creates man, and he makes man a little bit higher than the angels. Not the archangels. Man isn't higher than the archangels, but he's higher than seconds to relay messages, because this system affects attention spans. I don't have time to explain details while online. It's up to people to do their own research and on all questions, thus universal communication. Okay, I get it when you talk about how, the trying to explain to people about the true nature of our true Father and still using God. Because people, even me, I find myself saying, oh my God, so much still, even though, the realization that God wasn't our true Father came to me a while back, actually. And, but evil being evil and me being, a faulty, progenituration of man, I forgot that, evil is evil. I forgot that God is not the true Father. I forgot that I even did research into that. It just came back to me. Like, hold on. I'm still here. I just had a big ball of yucky, nasty mucus come out my mouth. Yeah. Ah. One more second. Yeah. Okay. I'm back. Now. But see, it like it says in the Bible, those who didn't know the truth, will have less of an issue when they get to the throne room and it's time for them to get their judgment than those who knew the truth and turned their back on the truth. If you know the truth and turn your back on the truth, your punishment increases sevenfold in the throne room, in the great throne room judgment. Yeah, if you even make it that far. A lot of people won't even pass go. Like everybody, all the guys, all the people who have ever did blood oaths and did the blood rituals and stuff, they're going straight to the lake of fire. Period. You want to know why? Because all the rituals that they've done, they've had to cut babies out of the wombs of women, and I could have been one of them. When I was 12 years old, the voices were fucking with me in my head, and I was so disturbed by, you know what I'm saying, the evil people around me. I feel you. I understand. I'm gonna have to take off here in a minute too, cause I'm gonna have to like call people and different stuff like that myself, and make appointments and be an adult. Even though this world is fucked up. So anyway, Satan, let me go back to Satan. So Satan has evil whispering in his ear. And while he's, in the throne room and still serving the true Father, he gets kicked out of the throne room. Okay? Man gets created. Evil is like, I ain't bowing down to this motherfucking thing you just made. Fuck that. And you made it higher than me? Are you fucking serious? Literally, that's what he said. Exactly. My mom, my mom was freeing people in the first grade. And my mom was so woke and telling people what was going on. The teacher literally said, I can't have her little black ass basically unbrainwashing my niggers. I'm gonna tell y'all that. I'm gonna have my mom tell that story here on this live stream. A while back, there's a dude named Mike Larry who had a channel. I don't know if he still has this channel. He did a interview with me and my mother, and I was explaining to him about how evil took me as a child. You see what I'm saying? And did things to me that you shouldn't do to anybody, much less children. And then they decided they weren't going to use me and return me back to my dad's side of the family, who put me into that shit through DCFS from the fucking get-go. You see what I'm saying? So there's that. Back to evil and how it got into creation. So, evil infested transhumanism. They are robotizing humans. Not just that. They're not robotizing humans. They're robotizing evil. That's what they're doing. People who already made the transition in this bioelectromagnetic body to where they're not even their electromagnetic self, because your outside self can look different from your inside self. Your seen self can look different from your unseen self. A lot of people are walking around today and they're not who they were born as. Some other entity jumped in their body and they still think that their consciousness is in control, but there's this other entity there that's in the underlying, frequencies of their, bioelectric field, but they don't know that because they don't even know what energy work is. They don't even know the true nature of energy. They don't know anything. Right? Right. So, evil inhabited Satan. Satan first gets kicked out of the throne room. Then he refuses to bow to man. That started the war in heaven. Satan was thrown out of heaven. Okay? Back down onto the earth. But he was able to go back and forth from the earth to, you know what I'm saying, heaven. And he still can do that. Okay? Still. People say, oh, the fallen angels are stuck here. No, they ain't. If that's the case, how did Satan go up to our true Father and ask our true Father for the soul of Job? Made a petition. This nigga made a petition to our true Father for the soul of Job. Huh? Took all Job's family, all Job's wealth, everything. That's why everything about what evil has done is a blasphemy. It's an abomination. The Freemasons are an abomination. The Daughters of Job, which is masonry for, or Eastern Starship for little girls that have masonry in their family. I'm okay. And I train myself to say, oh my gosh, or oh my goodness, too. It's hard, but yeah. So you got the Daughters of Job and the Rainbow Girls, who are basically friends with little females, female children who have masonry in their family. And then you got, my mouth is getting dry. Then you got the Demolay boys. Now, the Demolay boys, you don't have to have masonry in your family to join them. The Daughters of Job, you have to have masonry in your family. The Rainbow Girls, you just have to have a friend who's a Mason. It's basically almost the same as the Girl Scouts or the Boy Scouts. And they're taken over by evil too. Evil started those organizations just like they started all the rest of them. What else? Oh, so billions of years ago, Satan got kicked out of creation, basically. Turning your back on truth will garner the yes. Yes, it will. Without a doubt. Okay? So, now, when Satan got kicked out, he like, damn, I got kicked out. Oh, well, I'm finna find somebody else to deceive. Lo and behold, he found Gadriel, who now goes by the name Lucifer, who was a serpent, an angel, a serpentine angel, who guarded the west gate of Eden. Okay? And in the book of the fall of Adam and Eve, Eve tells you about how evil jumped in Satan, and then Satan jumped in Gadriel. Okay, that's how they were. That's how that whole. Yeah, that's how that went. Okay, now Raziel fell, but I don't know how he fell. The nature of his fall is so secret. I'm pretty sure only the Vatican and maybe a few people who, do battle with evil know about how that archangel fell. I know that Raziel was the one who came down and brought the lexicon or the book of the future to Adam. I know that much. Supposedly Raziel asked our true father. Like I said again, I'm gonna have to do research on that. Azrael, the angel of death, he fell because he went off the mountain with the sons of Seth. um, or the sons of our true Father. Um, when the sons of our true Father went down and met with the daughters of evil, or the daughters of Cain, that's how that generation of, Adam, sons of Seth. Okay. So you got the sons of Seth, the Watchers, who were not the sons of Seth, who were not the sons of our true Father, and the daughters of Cain, or men. Okay? They were the ones who they were talking about. It wasn't, whatever somebody else tells you. It's that right there. And if you want to know, you can read the Book of the Cave of Treasures, because that talks about it. The first and second book of Adam and Eve also talks about it. Goes in depth into it. So those are the four main fallen angels. Okay. And then you have the destroyer, the one who rules them all. That's the destroyer. I don't know. I haven't done enough research to know where that one come from. The destroyer is not Satan. And it's not any of the other four. Even though he says, yeah, my mom was like that. Absolutely. Another entity has hijacked a whole lot of bodies and minds. Yes, it's evil. Evil has hijacked a lot of people and they don't know it. That's why my niece, the one who I was telling y'all about, all she do is yell at her son all the time. She got one son and all she does is yell at him. Not chastising him. Not truly talking to him. You see what I'm saying? If she did, she noticed how I, interacted with her son, my nephew. Okay. Her noticing that, she's like, you can't watch him. I need a baby. I'm gonna need a babysitter. You can't watch him. Why can't you watch him? Because children aren't really allowed in my building. Because it's a building full of old folks. So yeah, there's that. Even though people bring their grandkids over, but that's a whole different story. So yeah, I talk to children. I'm listening, but not typing now. You're welcome. Okay. Thank you. I think you're a treasure too, Angie. I talk to children. Children know when somebody knows. Children, because they first get here and they aren't, you really aren't corrupted by this world until the age of 9 and 10. You know what I'm saying? That's when you're really corrupted by the lies that evil claims is the truth. Like they say Santa isn't real. Yes, he is. And Santa isn't his name. His name is Satan. And Satan and Krampus are one and the same people. But let's not even go into that. But of course they're going to say, of course evil wants you to think that it never existed at all. Not that, it does exist and it wants to take your soul. It wants to swallow your soul. Okay? You don't believe me? Go look up Ash versus Evil Dead. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. I'll swallow your soul. Dead by dawn. Dead by dawn. Huh? Evil can infect anything. It can take on an inanimate object. Huh? You don't believe me? Annabelle. A movie about a true event that happened where an evil witch inhabited the form of a doll. And that doll is still sitting in a motherfucking case somewhere. And people are told not to touch the case. And stupid evil motherfuckers do, because they stupid. And evil whispers in their ear. So I call them stupid evil. You're stupid because you're not knowledgeable enough to know when your life is in danger. And you're evil because evil whispered in your ear and manipulated you against yourself. And you did it. So you're a stupid evil motherfucker. And a lot of people don't know there is no good in evil. Evil will always manipulate you against yourself. That's why when it says in the Bible, when he's coming back with his reward and he's going to turn them over unto themselves, he's talking about everybody who was manipulated by evil against themselves, but they didn't know it. And their selves are going to witness against them. I done seen evil in the raw. I know what it looked like. It don't look pretty. Not in its true form. Oh, hell no. You know, it can fool you and confuse you. Oh, this looks like this, that, and the third. Huh. So pleasing. It feels that way. Until, wait a minute, that feeling come up. Like, that dread of your whole life being in danger comes up. And you're like, wait a minute. Because you're like, what's going on? What's happening? Remember in Poltergeist 1 where the teen daughter comes up and the house is being ate up from the inside by the evil spirit there, or the enemy spirit, and they're leaving in the car, in the station wagon, and the teenage girl walks up and she's like, "What's happening? What's happening? What?" Yeah. Anybody can be infected by evil. Anybody. Get you some nano silver, not colloidal silver, nano silver. Go to Dr. Rima LaBelle, the Natural Solutions Foundation, NSF. Go there. She's got cannabis oil, and she's got cannabis edibles, and she's got nano silver. Get you some. Literally, for real, get you some. Because it's the only thing, other than praying to our true Father, that's going to keep evil from inhabiting you. I know I've been on this motherfucker for like 3 hours now. Sorry. So I call it false resurrections. I'm not going to go into that because I've been on here. I had to tell y'all, you're not as woke as you think you are. Because if you were as woke as you thought you were, you would be people about pedophilia. You would be explaining to people about 501c3 churches. You would be explaining to people about how the Bible was taken apart limb by limb, literally. The Bible that we read today is not the same Bible. You look up a Bible from the 1500s and then you look at the Bible today. Well, first off, the Bible from the 1500s is going to be huge. Okay, it's going to be what they call a tome, a T-O-M-E, a tome. Okay, that's what they called huge books back in the day, a tome. Okay, and it's going to have books in there that you ain't never heard of. Like the Book of Tobit, the Book of Tobias, Bel and the Dragon, the Maccabees, you know what I'm saying? Third and fourth Ezra. It's actually first and second Esdras, but those are books from Ezra in the Bible, Ezra. Those are books of that book and those books are the same. They belong in the same. They're the same. So it's like the third and fourth book of Esdras. Okay. Did I mention the Maccabees? Because you'll find that. Did I say Bel and the Dragon? Because you'll find that. You find the book of Judas in the Holy Bible from the 1600s. Not from today's book. No, you don't find none of that truth in there from today. Nope. And you'll find scriptures have been changed. Like I said earlier, the lion and the lamb is not the wolf and the lamb. The lion and the lamb And it says something about like some, I can't remember the second part of the verse about because it wasn't a leopard and a kid. It wasn't the leopard and the goat. Because see, those animals were synonymous with nations, with kingdoms. Okay? Just like the beast of Ezekiel is synonymous with kingdoms and people. The Lion of Judah and the Lamb of Israel. There you go. Doesn't that sound more right? Doesn't that sound more correct than, the wolf and the lamb? Now, something in you might say, yeah, it does. But because we're in, okay, you can't. Come on. Just like I said earlier, how you can't be awake and call somebody crazy. You can't be truly conscious and call somebody crazy. I'm not saying that we don't have mental and emotional issues and people who are walking around that are stuck in those mental and emotional issues. I'm not saying that. Okay? But what that person is saying don't make them crazy. They might not have all the truth, and they might have lying spirits walking around with them, making them, say things. Okay? I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is you can't call that person crazy. That's what I am saying. You can, but you're not as woke as you think you are if you call that person crazy. You're not as conscious as you think you are if you say that person is insane. Huh? So, just like that, my analogy for, what was I saying? I was making an analogy. I forgot what I was making it for. But, okay. The wolf and the lamb. Oh, just like that analogy. How is Earth existing in a time dilation field? Okay. And somebody fuck with that time dilation field and then nothing goes wrong with that. Nope, everything's fine. The CERN, the D-Wave computer, the CERN at Fermilab, everything's fine. Nothing to worry about. We're all fine. We have nothing to be concerned for. Oh, the wonders. They're just going, and the wonderful people who, the scientists and everything, they're just going to make sure everything's all right. CERN done blew up twice. It's done blew up twice. Okay? The event that was supposed to occur, that ain't occurred, that's not going to occur. Okay? That event they keep talking about, oh, part of us will disappear, and you know what I'm saying, we'll be on a new earth and a new heaven. No, it won't. That's not what it says in the Bible. That's not what it says in the Bible. Not at all. In order to leave this plane permanently, your body cannot be still in existence here to a point where you can still re-enter it. Okay? People who have been getting up out of the grave, I'm sorry, my left eye is bothering me. People who have been getting up out of the grave, they left their body, but their body was still intact to a point where they could still enter into their body. Enoch, the book of Enoch, the one who wrote the book of Enoch, not the other. There's two Enochs in the Bible. Well, it's not really Enoch. His name is Enosh. But you know what I'm saying. It sounds like Enoch. There's two different Lamechs in the Bible. So, Enoch, the one who walked with God and then was no more the one who walked with our true Father and then was no more because our true Father took him. When he was taken up, before he was taken, and yeah, evil will use the body of the prophets and everything too. They do that. How is that not when evil uses the body of fetuses to flavor food? It's in all your Pepsi products. It's in all your Coca-Cola products. It's in some of the makeup you use. It's in the Frito-Lay chips. Huh? Look up Genomics and look up natural flavoring. Anything that says natural flavoring, what the fuck is the natural flavoring? What is that? What is that? I've never known. A natural flavor to me would be something like mango. Okay? You don't taste mango when you eat, Hershey's. Unless they got mango in it. Hershey's with mango. That sounds good, right? I know. I don't know what I think I'm hungry. Yeah, but I mean, you don't taste mango in, I could see, natural flavoring mango. What is natural flavoring? Okay, look up Genomics. Look up natural flavoring. Ain't shit natural about it. The only thing that's natural about it is that it comes from fetus cells. Okay. It comes from fetus cells. I'm battling an evil that most people don't even have a clue. They think of course, evil would show you itself on the TV. Show you itself on the TV. Show you what it looked like. And then tell you that it doesn't really exist. That tentacled bat being doesn't exist. That tentacle being with bat wings doesn't exist. That walking skeleton exists. That goat with 100 million eyes, you know what I'm saying, that you never... That doesn't exist. And all that motherfucker children. No, they don't exist. That's not real. Yeah, they are real. Really real. Okay? They come down through the lightning. I've seen them. I read from the Necronomicon Ex Mortis. It's on the computer. I read from that book. I'll never read from that book ever again. Ever again. Ever. Okay? Ever. Never ever. I'm not doing it. And that book exists for real. And it's not just one of them. Okay? The one that is the most famous is from Saudi Arabia. The Kandahar region. And then, the Kandaharian dagger is real. In Ash versus Evil Dead, in the Evil Dead, they call it Kaldarian. No, it's Kandar. Because they talk about Kandar. It's, I'm not even, I ain't finna say that no more. I'm not even finna say it no more. Because it's calling on an evil being. An evil presence. You're like, why am I looking over there? Because, yeah, you're unwelcome here. Y'all don't have to believe in it. I know the power of the energy of words. I know the power of the energy of a person, a life. I know that. And so does evil. If that's not the case, you wouldn't have to make blood sacrifices to evil. To give evil power to work in your life. You wouldn't have to do that. You see how you don't have to do that to our true Father anymore? There's people that still do and they say they're doing it to our true Father, but they're really doing it to God. God's real. See what I'm saying? Because that's who they worship. But no, you don't have to do that to our true Father. When his true Son came, he came to break the blood oath, to abolish it, so that you don't have to atone for your sins through blood anymore. You can atone through repentance. Huh? It's a whole lot less messy, right? Yeah, but evil will tell you, no, 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 that's not true. To deceive you. Because that's what it does. So we're living here in this time dilation field. Oh, and did you know time travel is a part of Ash versus Evil Dead too? He time traveled. Okay, he time traveled back to the 1600s to fight evil in like the medieval smack dab in the middle of England. Well, in between England, it was somewhere around that area, or the UK, the United Kingdom. Let me not say it was the UK. So he went back in time, fought evil back then, made a baby back then that is connected to the Knights of Samaria. In today's time. And he still exists to today too. He time traveled back here after he did whatever he had to do back then. He traveled back to the Ash, traveled back to the present. So yeah, all of that is a part of evil too. There are people who are evil that does remote viewing. What is remote viewing? It's you can leave this body and go to another planet, another space and time, and experience it. Which that's different from astral projection. Astral projection is using your astral body, not your spirit self, your soul self. It's using your soul self to move through, invisibly through space and time. But, well, not even time, just through space. Because when you astral project, you can't go through time. You can only go through space. But when you remote view something, you can go through space and time. I know because I've done both. I've actually had a griffin save my ass from getting ate up by the beings that exist on a plane above this one. Well, outside of this one. Well, you know what I mean. The different realm, the invisible one. A griffin saved me from being ate up by them because I was doing astral projection, and I was coming up out of my body. I used the rope method, and I felt the buzzing in your body you feel when your invisible self or your soul disconnects from your physical self. I felt that, and I was climbing up. I actually saw the rope because you have to be able to do visualization. And I started climbing up, and when I was looking around, I saw like beings. I don't know what kind of beings. They look humanoid. But I saw them. And the plane, when you come up out of this plane, it looks like kind of like space when you're coming up out of your body. So yeah, that's when I was coming up out of my body, and I looked to my left and I saw these humanoid beings. I don't know what they are, but they were standing there. And I looked to my right, and I felt this force it pushed me back down. And now, as I felt this force pushing me back down, I saw the outline of this like griffin-like creature. A creature that's got like the head and wings of an eagle and the body of a lion. The body and tail of a lion. So yeah, no, those creatures are in the Bible too, because our true Father has creatures, just as well as evil has creatures. So there's that. Now remote viewing. My first time I remember remote viewing is I was like 18, and I was asleep I sleep all day and different stuff like that. Cause yeah. Um, I was trying to break through the MK Ultra programming, and I'm still trying to break through now that they directly did to me. I mean, like, took me up under the Epcot Center and did this shit to me. Also, I need, if anybody knows any, like, hypnotherapists that do pro bono work that can be trusted, even though I still probably won't trust you, and I'll probably bring, like, 2 different people with me when I come see you, um, let me know. I mean, that, either they travel, or they're close to Illinois, or they're close to the area of Illinois I'm in. Because my grandmother, before they gave her Alzheimer's, because aluminum gives you Alzheimer's, and my grandmother got Alzheimer's. She was 6 years old. I was 6 years old when she told me, and she was like, I don't know, 60 something. She told me that she was getting Alzheimer's and that she was going to forget me, basically. Which I feel like is a kind of a just dessert, because she was the one who was there when they were torturing me when I was 3 years old, 2 and 3 years old. She was there. It wasn't my dad. It wasn't my aunt. It wasn't none of them. It was my grandmother on my dad's side. She was there when they were tormenting me and torturing me up under the Epcot Center. So, it was only right that she forgot me. And I kind of feel like it wasn't, though, because she kind of, she forgot all the evil things she did in her life. And I don't think that was fair. But anyway, and it's just a lot of stuff. It's just a lot of stuff. So, she told me things. My mom told me things when I was 6 years old that I can't. Not my mom. My grandmother told me things that when I was 6 years old, 5 going on 6, that I can't remember. The things that she told me, I remember now. I remember her sitting me down on one of her white couches that was covered in plastic. I remember this. And she was talking to me, and she was telling me things, and I can't remember the things that she told me, but I need to remember them, because I know, just like I would need to remember what they did to me when I was 2 years old up under the Epcot Center. I need to remember these things. I can only remember certain things. I can't remember everything that happened that they did to me. I need to, though, in order for me to totally, fully break free and clear from this MK Ultra programming that they did to me when I was 2 and 3 years old. So, if y'all know anybody who's a hypnotherapist, hit me up. Let me know. Okay? Yeah, I know all about the gaslighting and this, that, and the third.